Welcome back. A very happy new year. May the coming year bring you success, happiness, and all the good things. Let's see what January is bringing for you. And before I start, as always, I would like to thank my Jyotish gurus and my spiritual gurus for always guiding me. I'm truly grateful. Not just January, but the first quarter of 2026 is going to bring immense powerful changes, especially for some particular signs. In fact, January second half is what intensifies this process, that begins the process or that kickstarts the process of moving you into your new life. The signs that are going to be mentioned are your sun sign as well as your moon sign. So you can apply those accordingly. If you want sun sign predictions and moon sign predictions written by me, you can download Elevate by Astro Kanu and check them out there. I also have an offer running where you can get astrology readings at 1 rupee by AI Satya, who is personally trained by me. And these are analysis readings, not pre fed content. So check it out. The first 10 days of January seem rather calm, or a time where a lot of you are strategizing, you're making new plans, you're aligning things. A lot of you are also looking at documentation. This documentation can be around legalities or financial documentation. As we move past the 10th of January, there's going to be suddenly subtle action starting around the world. Between the 10th of January to the 28th of January is a time where there's going to be a lot of sudden changes happening across the globe. There's going to be new geopolitical alliances coming up. There's going to be at least two regions, there can be more, at least two regions making announcements on new alliances around army, or alliances where they want to say that we will not tolerate this anymore, or some sort of warning being given to another region. Basically a phase where you will see this region, and more than one region, like I said, is possible, multiple regions coming forward and announcing aggressive defense policies or some sort of aggressive policies against particularly a region or people or a policy. So some aggression can be seen coming up subtly across the world in many regions around this time. Usually it's the Western countries coming up with all sorts of policies and alliances, especially the US. We've seen how the last couple of months have gone. But the peculiar part is this, that January is going to bring a phase, and that this phase will continue into February and March as well. So I would say the first 3 months beginning second week of January, where you will suddenly see the diplomatic relationships change and align amongst the Islamic countries. So I'm not now talking about particularly about US and Canada, which is usually takes the cream of the news and keeps on moving things about. But the peculiar part is that you're going to see Islamic countries come forward and place some sort of announcement around relationships with other countries, whether it's diplomatic relationships or it's geopolitical alliances of some sort. Some new peculiar announcements are going to come. For some countries and regions, this is not going to be positive news. They may react aggressively, they may react with negative policies, or there can be some tensions around countries. For others, this will be a welcome, and you'll see that new alliances and new relationships are beginning to get formed in the first 3 months of 2026. The time between 18th and 25th is very intense, particularly for the signs of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, Capricorn, and Cancer. This is a time where there are too many things happening. Some of you are confused with decisions. There's an emotional turmoil of some sort. You're pushing yourself and you're trying to break patterns of emotions. So, all of us tend to react a certain way. And unless we become a little conscious of how we are reacting, what is our set pattern, it becomes difficult to break it. So, the good part is that a lot of you are going to be spiritually evolving and becoming more conscious about what is it that you're doing, what kind of decisions are you making, what is your emotional state, How are you responding? Where are you responding from? Which is great, because that's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, to analyze, to self reflect, and to try to break free from your set patterns, because that is how your new beginnings are going to come in the year 2026. Needless to say that the time between the 18th and the 25th is also a sensitive time when it comes to personal relationships, business alliances, especially around communication, both written and verbal. So, my recommendation, be very, very sensitive and careful. Be thoughtful about how you interact with people. Be mindful about what you are saying. Maybe read your messages and emails again and check. Maybe not react out of fear and insecurity during this time. If you're waiting for justice to come in a court case, there can still be some delays for the next couple of weeks. If you are trying to resolve matters around legal documentation or property, you're not getting results yet, so you'll have to wait. You'll have to wait for the next couple of weeks to months. January is certainly not bringing you the results that you're waiting for. For many of you, this is the time which is marking an end of something. January is bringing many endings. Ending of how you're thinking, where you're living, what you do, who you're working with, personal relationships, divorces, end of business projects. A lot of endings can be harsh. So be peaceful. Try to be soft in your endings. Endings you cannot avoid, but you can choose how you end something. All endings don't have to be bitter, don't have to be angry, don't have to be hurtful. It's okay to end something, it's okay to go your way, but there's a way to do this. So you remember my advice and do things softly with the right way to communicate. That is important. January is bringing changes, you can't resist that. But how you absorb that change into your life is where your choice is and where my advice will be useful, because that's how you're going to make the change and the transformation simple, easy, and happier for you. As we start moving towards February, things will start getting resolved. There will be some amount of calmness and clarity that will start coming in. But like I said, long term clarity, especially in matters around court cases, legal documents, business projects that are waiting for compliances, perhaps certification, things like that. You'll have to give it a couple of more months. You will have that kind of clarity only in the month of March. January marks a beginning of a phase that is important for you to self reflect. It's a time when you need to think. It's a time when you to sit and analyze, because January also brings forward suddenly a lot of clarity in terms of relevations. You're going to start seeing things clearly, whether it's your own emotional turmoil and fear, or it's understanding how others are trying to control you, or how others are trying to operate around you. And in some cases, it can be how others are trying to take advantage of you. To realize that this is happening to you, January will start that process in a very subtle way. This process will continue through February, and by the time you reach end of March and April, you can understand that the transformation is complete and you're finally ready to move ahead. But the initial months where you're going through the transformation can feel challenging, can feel tiresome. So rest mentally as well. Uh, Pay attention to your thoughts, meditation, chanting, spiritual practices. Great time to do this in the month of January, because this is how you will make the most of it. Huge opportunities coming for some of you for new project, for business opportunities, especially Aquarius and as well as Cancer. A lot of new opportunities for business alliances, for success, for ventures is waiting to be tapped. Be mindful, be patient. Don't do things impulsively. Take your time to evaluate everything. Great time for research. Those of you connected to the field of research will see success, will complete your papers, you'll submit your thesis, you'll start seeing success in this particular month. January also marks some important announcements around technology, AI, and data, especially around AI. Some benchmark announcements globally are going to be made. So, January marks an important beginning of a new phase that the world is moving to, and of course, you are moving into as well. And I wish you all the best. There are no stock predictions yet. I will try to bring them back on soon. Meanwhile, have a wonderful, amazing year ahead. Start the year with peace, clarity, and positive feeling. Make the most of the advice that I've given you because it will help you put your right set forward as you move into this powerful new year. Take care. I'll be back with predictions in the month of February. Till then, follow the advice and have a great month.